This video quality is not the best, but hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I did my nails and usually I'm just nude. I do various shades of nude, but today, well, not today, but when I did it yesterday, I went for some color and it's growing on me. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for the kind comments and for interacting with the last video that I made doing Bible study tools or sharing my Bible study tools. This week, oh, my hair needs combing, which is why I'm wearing a hat, but that's for another video. But this week we're going to be doing a video about spiritual emergency kit. That's the title I have for it. Hold on. Of course, we got our Bible in play. Hold on. We got a journal. I'm going to tell you more about it. We have another Bible. We're going to use this. We have I don't remember what you call this. Is that guillotine? It's a form of guillotine. It's for my cricket machine, but we're going to need it. We got some paper in multiple colors. And I got my little craft kit here. We're going crafting today. I left my microphone today, so the audio might not be the best, but I hope you can hear me. We're going to go into our spiritual emergency kit. I'm going to tell you what that is and how to create one for yourself. So the lighting over there was so bad, I had to switch positions. So I'm now on the floor. All right, so today we're going to be making a spiritual emergency kit. And I thought of the idea because I've had my car for 3 years, almost 3 years. And it was one day this week that I discovered that there's a first aid kit in my car. I also have a first aid kit that I bought. I have one that I've put together because I'm not traveling anywhere without a first aid kit. I feel like I need one in my house and there's one in my car. I didn't know this was there. So I have a bunch of emergency kits and they've come in handy every single time, whether it's a band-aid or it's a gauze or it's some kind of ointment, maybe it's Dramamine, whatever. And I thought of it. I'm sure we find ourselves in spiritual emergencies sometimes, for want of a better term. Wouldn't it be nice if there was something like a kit that you could pull on and pull from to walk you through that emergency, to walk you through that season? There are times when praying is hard for me. I can't get the words out and I'm like, help me, God. There are times when I could do with a song, I could do with a Bible verse that just speaks into my situation. And so I thought, why not create a spiritual emergency kit? This bag is one of my bags that I usually have in my car with my little knickknacks, my emergency stuff. But I decided I was going to use it for the purposes of this video. So first, you need a bag or something, some kind of container, something that can hold a bunch of stuff. We're not going to make it too expensive or too anything. Grab something that you already have. I wanted to find a New Testament Bible. You know the little Bibles, but I don't know where to find one. If you know where I can find one, let me know in the comments, please. But this is my trusty King James Version Bible. I've had this Bible since 2012. A pastor gave it to me at my former church, and so it has been my trusty Bible. It's usually on my desk at work, and so I'm transporting it to this. I'll replace the one at work with a different one. If you want to go a step further, you can go through your Bible and highlight like different verses and different chapters that mean much to you, so that when you go in, you don't have to search. You know where they are, or you'll go through, you'll see the highlights, you'll read them, color code those highlights too. Maybe I'll do that in another video. I would advise you to color code those highlights if you're going to go through your Bible and highlight verses that speak to you. Color code them, so when you see pink, you know pink is for when I'm anxious. You see blue, you know, do that. We'll do that in another video. So start with your Bible. So I want to put our Bible in here. Then you want a devotional of sorts or something that speaks to you. For me, it's this. It's a promise a day, 31 Bible promises to fuel your faith. This is a devotional I wrote last year, and so I'm biased towards it. It has 31. I also have another channel, you know, it's called A Promise a Day daily devotional, where I share Bible promise every day, and I've been doing that for the last 2 years. This is year 3, and so I'm continuing that this year. It's taking a different flavor, but yeah. So this is a devotional I'm going to put in my spiritual emergency kit. So outside of that, we are going to put something that you like, something that you enjoy. Maybe it's a candy, maybe it's some nuts, just something that speaks to you. For me, it's tea. I love tea. I'm going to start a whole tea series here, but I love tea. I don't drink tea bag though. I do tea leaves and I steep it, and the temperature has to be right. It has to steep for a certain amount of time, all of that. But just as a representation, I'm going to put a tea bag in here, and that every time I drink tea, it reminds me to pause. It reminds me to slow down. It reminds me to take a minute to just refocus and center. And so I'm putting this tea bag in my emergency kit as a reminder to pause, to put whatever it is that you like. Maybe it's a candy bar, maybe it's something that's just, will speak to your little soul. I also have that you should put a journal in there, something you can write on, something you can pour your thoughts out on. But I didn't bring a journal, but what I brought was some I have a whole stack of white paper. It's really pretty paper. It's nice and shiny. So I'm going to put a couple of them in there. And it's just for me to write out my thoughts when I find myself in that emergency or that season. If you have a journal, put your journal in there. Put a journal in there. We're also going to put something to write with. This pen, I brought it back from the Dominican Republic. I went there for my 36th birthday and I've held on to it. So I'm going to put it in here. And then this is where we're going to be getting all creative. This is my little cutting board. We're going to be putting some verses in there, some Bible verses. I mean, you can either choose to mark them, highlight them in your Bible, or you can write out specific verses that speak to you now, that have spoken to you in the past, and put them in there. So when you go in, you grab one, you read it, and it will speak to your soul in that moment. So we're going to take some time and we're going to do that. I like crafting. I really love crafting. And so, so we're going to cut these up and we're going to put some verses on it. I think blue is for when it's going to be passages about hope, when you feel hopeless. Um, Purple is going to be for broken, when you feel broken. And then pink is going to be for just when you need some kind of strength. You're feeling a little weak. So we're going to find verses that speak to these different issues and we're going to put them in. I haven't found the verses yet. I know some like, why art thou so downcast, O my soul? Why so disturbed within me? Trust in the Lord, trust I say. Sometimes some. I don't remember the rest of it. All right. So now that we've gotten our cutting out the way, we're going to find our verses. So we're going to find verses about, I feel like these are big. They could have been smaller, but it's okay. I'm going to chat GPT some Bible verses. I also have some stickers that I get from my friend at work, and I'm going to add some of them to each set. So like this one says, life is tough, but so are you. We're now done with our Bible verses for our different situations. There we go. You don't have to write them. If you want it simpler, you can simply print them out. We have our 3 sets. So we're going to add those to our little bag here. And then the final thing that I want you to add to your bag is an emergency contact list, spiritual emergency contacts. I put a list. I have only one person on my list, and that's okay. I have my mother. If anything happens and I find myself in a space where I need somebody to pray for me, I need somebody to pray with me, I need somebody to pray over me, that person is going to be my mother. There are other individuals who I may be able to call, but for now, my list only has my mother on it. Because sometimes we find ourselves in a spiritual desert or going through a spiritual emergency, we tend to feel like we're alone. That's one of the tricks of the enemy. He tells you you're alone in this, nobody cares, you're on your own doing this. No. And sometimes in those moments we tend to forget that we have others who can petition the throne of God for us. And so it's important that you add your spiritual emergency contacts list in this. In the same way you have 911, you call 911 if anything, have your list so you know who to call on. And so together with those items, that's our spiritual emergency kit or your spiritual go bag. I hope that you enjoy that. And I hope that you will try one, you will make one for yourself, do what you will with it. What I may need in an emergency may be different from what you will need. So put what you need in your emergency kit, and hopefully you don't have to use it. But if you need, you always have it ready to go. I'm going to keep mine in my car. Yeah, I'm gonna keep mine in my car because sometimes when I'm going through it, I'm in my car locked up, and I'm screaming, Lord help me, God have you rejected that. So I'm gonna keep mine in my car. Thank you guys for watching. Please comment on what your favorite part was. Tell me if you're going to try it, and come back next week. Let's see what we're going to be talking about. Bye.